can't wait till you get out, my brother. It's hard to put it in a letter and say, but I'll be here when you get out, my brother, and do my best to help you live in better days.
Reach the younger brothers who have found themselves in these dungeons. When a man comes to prison and begins to transform himself by gaining knowledge of self and by committing himself to a cause that's higher than himself, he becomes a greater threat to the prison system that is determined to break him. Detroit Red wasn't a force to be reckoned with until he became Malcolm X. Many of us are in here for following the tradition of resisting oppression. We are in solitary confinement for reading books about George Jackson, Malcolm X, and the Black Panthers, and for writing about Black August, New African politics, and New African culture. Some of us are in here for identifying with our indigenous roots and for depicting Aztec or Mayan symbols in our artwork. Some of us are in here because we have mastered their laws and have successfully used it against their own system. In 2011, we decided that all prisoners from all races and areas had to come together to end this cruel and unusual punishment. We issued 5 core demands, and in July 2011, over 6,600 prisoners went on hunger strike to protest our torture. We suspended the hunger strike after 3 weeks to give the Department of Corrections time to make the changes they promised. When they failed to respond, we resumed the hunger strike. This time we were joined by over 12,000 prisoners. Again, the hunger strike was suspended when the Department of Corrections signed a statement about the changes they intended to make. It's been almost 2 years and the conditions have not changed. We are now planning a statewide and national hunger strike and work stoppage beginning July 8th, 2013. We are calling on our brothers and sisters in prisons across the country to issue their demands to their individual prison administrators to join us in hunger strikes and work stoppages if our demands aren't met by July. We need your help to spread the news of this nationwide action and to support this movement for human rights for people in prison. None of us want to die of starvation in the hunger strike. Make no mistake, we want to live. But we cannot live as broken men in conditions that are not even acceptable for animals. We are humans and deserve to be treated as such. For these reasons, we are willing to put our lives on the line for justice, and we hope that you will support us in strength and struggle with the Pelican Bay human rights movement. And it's important to also mention that recently they came out with an agreement to end hostilities. Many of you may know there's been decades of racial and geographic hostilities within the prisons and county jails in California, and they've come out with a statement trying to squash all that, trying to take diplomatic means to solve their disputes. There's copies of this letter, there's copies of our campaign information, copies of the agreement to end hostility outside. We also have t-shirts for sale. Please support us. Please support the guys in Pelican Bay. This is a movement that's led by the people inside, by their family members, by formerly incarcerated people. Our coalition doesn't set any kind of agenda ourselves. All of our direction comes from inside. We don't want a hunger strike to happen. This isn't something that we look forward to. A lot of us have loved ones inside. We don't want to see them starve. There were a lot of suicides between the hunger strikes last time. We don't want to see that happen again. We want to take action and force the government, Jerry Brown, and the Department of Corrections to take action to prevent another hunger strike from happening in July. So stay connected with us. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Imani, Marketing, Art Under Pressure for doing this event. We appreciate you.